live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where edutainment is what I do. Most weenie. And welcome. And before I get off into what I'm going to get off into, y'all that rock with me, and I appreciate y'all rocking with me and continuing to rock with me, we're going to do it like this. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when new material comes out, like this right here, you get first crack at it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket, comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page. Okay. Past couple days, I've been feeling a little out of sorts. But some things have been going through my head back. Oh, my Chiefs won again. Yeah, sure did. We 7-2 now. But I mean, did you really expect us to lose to the Jags? I ain't gonna say that though, because we lost to the Colts. So, on any given Sunday. But anywho, I was thinking about this recast T'Challa thing, and I feel like recast T'Challa doesn't necessarily embody what we want to achieve, given the events that have transpired in the movie. It's not a military secret that T'Challa has a secret son, according to the MCU, and that son's name happens to be, I'm not calling him that. Suffice to say, we are going to call him T'Child. And I'm not going to sit here and be delusional. I'm not going to sit here and be crazy. Stories are stories. No matter how you tell them, they're going to achieve a certain effect. But when we talk about things like legacies and mantles, as they relate to Black characters and Black representation, it seems like we as Black people, and I'm not saying all Black people, but I'm just calling some Black people out onto the table so that they understand, because this needs to be talked about, and not in no disrespectful way, just facts. Edutainment's what I do. I'm telling the truth. Some of us are just happy, satisfied, pleased to see somebody who looks like us on the screen. Don't question how he got there. Don't question why he's there, because you're casual. I understand that. You're not there for anything but to watch the movie and feel good and feel bad. So wanting you to understand the nuances is an exercise in futility for me. So it's not the nuances that I want you to understand. I want you to understand the overreaching message. And the overreaching message is this: things tend to be forgotten when we stop talking about them. What do you think would have happened in the 1930s if conversation about Superman stopped? If production of Superman comic books stopped? If there were never any Superman serials or any Superman comic books or Superman cartoons or Superman movies? Arguably, you'd never have any of this. People become irrelevant when you stop talking about them. Stories become irrelevant when you stop talking about them. Hell, factual events become irrelevant when you stop talking about them. Now, the movie industry isn't going to come to you and say, stop talking about T'Challa. Stop talking about T'Challa. We forbid you to talk about T'Challa. Not going to do that. They're going to present what they think is a compromise. And the compromise is this: we've given you a son. T'Challa has a son. T'Challa has an heir to continue his legacy. What fucking legacy? He had one movie and 2 or 3 cameos. What legacy? Okay? The royal family is being murdered off. Okay? From what I hear in the movie, Ramonda's dead. T'Challa's dead. Okay? Now, in order for T'Challa to become T'Challa, guess who else has to die? Yeah. And this movie's doing well. So that means there's more than likely going to be a sequel. And if there is a sequel and they cherry pick like they always cherry pick, Shuri's next. We're good with all of this death. We're good with the entire bloodline of the royal family being wiped out all together. I understand legacy, I understand heritage, and I understand making way for future generations. But damn, we didn't finish telling the previous generation's story. We didn't say anything about the if we were going to summarize the reign of T'Challa, what would it be known for? Oh, we fought off an alien invasion and made an heir. That's T'Challa's legacy. Nothing else. Oh, and he opened the borders of Wakanda. Compared to the king you could have made T'Challa into, compared to the legacy, the legend you could have left behind, falls a little short as far as I'm concerned. In the comic books, T'Challa has an entire intergalactic empire, but I realize this is not the comic books. And so we're not going to get to see anything comic book like in the MCU. Well, what I mean is anything that follows the comic book canon without just cherry picking it and creating a narrative. I mean, some would debate that that is good writing, and others would say it's lazy as hell. I'm in that second group. I mean, when we talk about the origin story of Superman, it does not change. It does not deviate. It's updated, but it does not deviate from what it was. Superman came in a rocket from another planet. That's not going to change. You can't change that part of it. That is an essential part of Superman's origin. Superman was raised by a couple who live in the Midwest. Those two things never change about the Kents. The Kents are from Kansas. And the Kents raised Kal-El with their morals and values. Superman, Kal-El, goes to Metropolis and becomes the first superhero. Those three things never change in Superman's origin story. All the different movies that have been made, all the cartoons that have been made, those things never change in Superman's origin. Never. And we don't question it. You know why? Because it's been that way for over 80 years. So we're done. We're just like, okay, that's Superman's origin story. And whenever you tell Superman's origin story, you have to tell those components. Batman, same exact thing. Batman's parents, or Bruce Wayne's parents, were killed when he was a child. Batman trained mind, body, and spirit to become a crime fighter. Batman returns to Gotham City and becomes a superhero. Those three things never change. In 80 years with Batman's story, those three things never, ever, ever change in Batman's story. Ever. Well, in the iterations that we have the BET version of Black Panther. We have Black Panther's episode on the Fantastic Four in the 1990s Fantastic Four cartoon. And of course, Captain America Civil War and the Black Panther movie, which sort of go hand in hand telling T'Challa's story. Now, what I get out of those three versions of T'Challa's story, here are the three things that in those versions are not missed. Okay? T'Challa's father is murdered by Ulysses Claw. Movie deviated from that. T'Challa's father, T'Chaka, is murdered by Ulysses Claw. Period. Could the Russo brothers have found a way to work Claw into Captain America Civil War? Sure, they could have. But that wasn't the story arc they wanted to tell. Later for that. Okay. Secondly, T'Challa goes abroad and trains both physically and intellectually. That gets kind of blurry in Captain America Civil War and Black Panther. We glaze over that. We never really go. T'Challa had this education. T'Challa has this degree in physics. T'Challa has this degree in engineering. T'Challa holds multiple master's degrees in this. T'Challa is an accomplished martial artist and combatant. T'Challa can do this. T'Challa can do that. I don't get that clear-cut explanation in the MCU. Third thing, T'Challa returns to Wakanda, and after some convincing from the Fantastic Four, decides to become a superhero. I could see you taking the Fantastic Four out of the equation. I don't like it. It isn't the best storytelling. It would have been an excellent segue to bring the Fantastic Four into the MCU, but that's just me. But we play willy-nilly with T'Challa's origin story. You know what I'm saying? Why are Superman and Batman's stories set in such stone? Oh, because they've been around longer. Spider-Man's origin is set in stone too, and he hasn't been around as long as Superman and Batman. Try again. Why are Superman and Batman's origins, even Spider-Man, why are they set in stone? But we play fast and loose with T'Challa. You know what? I'm going to let y'all answer that question. Since if I open my mouth up and say anything, it's going to be wrong. I mean, that's where we at now. No matter what I say, now that that movie's out, that movie's canon, that movie is, it's been said, it's done, it's in stone, and that's the end of it. Okay. All right. That's the end of it. But to my people who I rock with, and to my people who are sitting around trying to put logic to this situation, who are trying to, if I might be able to quote someone real quick, who are trying to make it make sense, you're probably having a difficult go of it. But let me just say this much. You ain't crazy. You ain't tripping. You ain't lost your mind. Yeah, there's a lot of explaining that needs to be done. There are a lot of questions that need to be asked. And I'm not the one that's getting ready to start asking. I'm just letting you know. There are questions that need answers. And I'm not telling anybody, for the record, I'm not telling anybody to not go see the movie. I'm telling you what I did. I'm telling you what I'm doing. Okay. I put my money into the Chadwick Boseman College of Fine Arts. That's what I did with my money. So whenever y'all fix y'all mouth to say, what am I doing? That's what I'm doing. Is that what you're doing? And do you really know what you're doing when you're putting your money into that project? You're seeing a good movie. Yeah. Opinions are like assholes, blah, blah, blah. But bottom line, we're on a different direction. And the direction is this: recast the real T'Challa. That's not a compromise. And I don't care what anybody says. That's not a compromise. That is a cop-out. Recast the real T'Challa. Come too far, 56 years, to just shit on a character and say, what y'all want us to do? He dead. What can we do about it? You could do a whole bunch about it. Loki was fucking dead. Hurried up and brought him back. I'll be coming at y'all with another one of them other ones. And until I do, yo, y'all be good. Be good to each other.